Hundreds of Winnebago County voters will head to the polls in less than 3 weeks to elect candidates to lead their local governments and schools. WIFR News reporter Anthony Ferretti attends a town hall where people learned more about those running for a Harlem school board seat.
The Harlem School District 122 board is made up of 7 people. There are 4 seats up for grabs with 11 candidates campaigning for those spots.
I was an administrator in the Harlem School District. So after I retired, I saw this as an opportunity to still be involved.
Because 11 names are on the ballot for the Harlem School District Board next month, most of them participated in a town hall Friday night so voters can connect names with faces. Larry Smith seeks re-election to build on the board's accomplishments.
Continue to increase academic achievement and graduation rate and just satisfaction of the students and their experience here in the Harlem School District.
I would like to address some of the racism, bullying, fiscal responsibility.
Harlem students led a Q&A session based on topics students are most concerned about, such as start time, school maintenance, and drug use. Patty Lawrence served on the board for 16 years and took time off for personal reasons and to become the Career and Technical Education Coordinator.
It's very important for people to understand trauma and how students react to trauma and how it impacts the brain. And I think once they understand that, it's a lot easier for teachers to manage the class as well as put additional supports in place for those students.
I hope to accomplish getting a Buildings and Grounds Committee and addressing the aging buildings so we're not passing that burden on to the taxpayers.
Katie Littlefield served for 8 years total on both the Rockton and Hononegah school boards and recently moved back to the Harlem district.
I believe good schools make for good communities.
The dozens of people in attendance also talked with the candidates individually after the town hall. Some of the RVC trustee candidates also attended.
Thank you, Anthony. And a link to the full list of school board candidates for the April 1st election in Winnebago County will be on our website after tonight's newscast.